What's up, guys? LQ here to talk a little bit about the Gen V season finale, episode 8. Um, so, yeah, this series as a whole has fit very nicely into the boys' universe. It's entertaining, it feels very much a part of that world. The cameos are the cameos serve the story. And this episode did have a couple cameos, but they served the story. It wasn't fan service. It wasn't, look, guys, it's Homelander. These were cameos that very much served the story and worked to propel the story forward rather than just be there gratuitously. So I definitely appreciated that. As a fan, I always appreciate when we get those cameos, right? When we get those guest appearances, and when we have ties into the larger universe. It can get a little frustrating though when those exist simply to try to please the fans, right? The fan community has gotten savvy. We've gotten smart. We've always been smart, but we've really gotten to the point where we can see when it's in service of the story and in service of the characters, and when it's just trying to create a hook that makes you excited to cover up the fact that it's not very good. And this was good, and the cameos were exciting, and the connections were exciting. I knew right from the beginning when they had the warning before the episode started that this was going to be an intense episode, and it was. It wasn't any more intense than any other episode of The Boys or to even some extent Gen V. It was the location on a campus that made this warning necessary, and I get that. That's fine. So the ending of this episode and the ending of this season was satisfying and very dissatisfying in two different ways and two different extremes. Very satisfying in the sense that we got the big action spectacle payoff that we like, the big final battle that we like to see in these superhero stories and these superhero movies. We got a lot of special effects. There was some real stakes that were at play here. And it was also dissatisfying in the sense that it leaves on a cliffhanger. And I understand why these shows like to leave on cliffhangers, because it creates a hook that makes us want to come back next time. Here's the problem with modern streaming, though. The age of having a new season of a show every year is over. It's been over for quite some time now. You have years between seasons of shows, and that's frustrating. As a fan, that's very frustrating. I feel like this is something the studios really need to figure out. These aren't movies that we're dealing with. We've kind of been conditioned as fans that we know that between movies, you're looking at 2 to 3 years, sometimes a little more, maybe sometimes a little less. If it's less than 2 years, I might get a little concerned about the quality of the movie. But 2 to 3 years, I think, is the typical, what we've been conditioned as fans to expect between movies. But we were always conditioned to have a new season every year of a show. And that's just not the way it works anymore. Years and years pass, sometimes more than 2 or 3 years between a show. Years pass. And what's frustrating is that I don't know when we're going to get another season of The Boys. They haven't announced it yet. We could still be a couple years off for all we know. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll get a new season of The Boys next year. But we don't know that. Another season of Gen V could be 3 years away. We don't know. So what's frustrating to me is that they leave us on this cliffhanger and we don't know when the payoff is going to come. The show was successful enough that I believe a payoff is definitely coming, but we don't know when the payoff is going to come. Could be a long time from now. Now, given the way this one ended, with the direct tie-in to the boys. I believe we're going to get a payoff sooner rather than later, because I believe the payoff will come in the next season of the boys. But who knows? It's hard to say. Loved seeing Homelander and his little cameo. I thought that was great. When that man smiles, bad things happen, and it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel great and excited as a film fan, but as a viewer, I'm like, oh no. Just something about that character and the actor that portrays him does such a great job. I'm seeing Carl Urban show up at the very end. That leads me to believe that Carl Urban's character is going to be the one who will be breaking our heroes from Gen V out of whatever prison they've been put in. Guys, this was a great season, a great finale, action-packed, great special effects, great narrative, just a solid story of two conflicting ideologies going against each other. I thought it was great. This whole season was great, and the finale definitely left on a strong note. Except the cliffhanger frustrates me. It does. It frustrates me. And I might be on an island all by myself with that. But it frustrates me. All right, guys. I give this high praise. What did you guys think of Gen V Episode 8, the season finale? Let me know in the comments below.